evil lurks in the halls of Washington. Well, that would be me, Wild Bill Samsel, your host of the Samsel Report. Join me for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup every Saturday night, right here on Revolution Radio.
Every Tuesday evening on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, we present our goddess spiritual warrior, Kathy Bilski.
I command. I call to the architect of the universe's divine creators and ask for permission to quantum leap the world in all life forms on all planes and dimensions, seen and unseen, connected with planet Earth, to let us go beyond our known potential into the greatest unknown golden age the universes and worlds and all planets have ever experienced.
Kathy teaches the spiritual truth so that you may create a better life and be able to make positive changes for yourself and for the planet. She helps us remember that we are not powerless, but very creative spiritual beings having an Earth experience. Time to quantum leap into the age of divine enlightenment and let Kathy provide you with the tools of knowledge you need to awaken spiritually. That's the Quantum Leap Show. Let Light Unite every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern on Revolution Radio, Studio B.
Hi, this is the voice known as Tammy Pepperman. Have you ever thought about how this seems like a farm? The food comes with daily recommended allowance, just like any other farm animal. If you get out of line, you get prodded, slapped, or killed if you're too much liability. And if you are not earning your keep, you can find yourself in prison for non-payment of taxes or child support. If you're tired of being farm product, join us every Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Studio B and Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. on Studio B, right here on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com.
Insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops.
No stems, no seeds that you don't need. Acapulco Gold is.
This is the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life. Wow, man.
Fire up, boy!
Why don't you get a job, Spicoli?
What for?
You need money.
All I need are some tasty waves, cool buzz, and I'm fine.
Welcome and thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. And now it's time for that feral hippie herself, an infotartic, esoteric, eclectic mix of the adventures of that feral hippie, Miss Mona Radler.
What are you people? On dope?
That was my skull! I'm so wasted!
Make a move and the bunny gets it.
Dave's not here!
All right, Mona, it's all yours. Take it away.
I still want to know where I'm supposed to take it to, but we're going to take it on so many adventures that we're just not going to be able to keep up. Because it's all quantum. It's all the mechanics, what we put in there and what we take out. It's all a give and take, people. Let's smile at each other. Let's give some nice soft knuckle punches. Okay, I am here with a new dear friend because I really appreciate his attitude. And it's part of a team that wants to shake things up. Let's get the AC/DC going. All right, everybody get grounded now. I am having join me today Bradley, John. Okay, I'm going to probably say this wrong. Tell them who you are, sir.
Hi, Mona. Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Bradley John Mullner, B-Rad of modernhealthcoach.com. And that's my name and that's my website. And it's modernhealthcoach.com. And I've been having the website for over 5 years, and we got a lot going on there we'll go over today. But that's just a quick gist of who I am. And Mona, thanks for the airtime. Appreciate it. And great to talk to everyone today and just bridge the gap from the unknown to the known. That's what we're going to do today.
There we go. But did you get this from a true education, or did you have to go searching for answers?
I got a BS in environmental science and a minor in writing from Slippery Rock University that led me to a 13-year environmental career, which was good. And I cleaned up. I wanted to help and pattern my thoughts after natural processes. So I got an environmental degree at the time and did 13 years of environmental consulting, remediation, and oversight of remediation. So I was, cleaning up the earth, basically on the front lines of the environmental movement in 15 states, ground zero, all over military bases. Learned a lot about how crappy the planet is and what state it is and all the stains everywhere that people keep doing. And I was like, well, this job's retroactive. I need to get proactive and get us off the oil and stop making all the messes and be more aware and conscious of how we're crapping on our planet because it sustains us. So I actually had a ice hockey accident in 2003 or 2000. I had surgery 03, 05, and changed my whole life and made me get on a quest to do a little over 20,000 hours of research since 2003 from Google University. I basically turned my science degree loose on health and solved my own problems because the doctors were saying, just listen to me, just listen to me. And couldn't even walk to work. So, yeah, it's I turn lemons into lemonade, and that's what you got to do. Don't give up and keep fighting. There are answers out there. They're not going to be in your textbook, and they're not going to come on TV. You have to research them, and thank God for the internet. I was able to put all these pieces together and make a plan of attack for myself, and it's turned into a whole company and lifestyle now, basically.
So it's a blessing, and I bet it was for sangria, not lemonade.
Well, I can't make water into wine, but it can certainly change the flavor of drinks now with some of the technology that we have. And yeah, it is. It's your choice. You got a fork in the road. You want to take the low road or the high road. I mean, that's what the mind. You make up your mind. You got a mind, a spine, and a pair of kahunas. So you got to make that choice on what's best for you. And don't listen to people telling you. Trust your gut is the best advice because they're intimately linked with tons of nerves from your stomach to your brain. And if you trust that, you'll go a lot further than listening to TV and Dr. Oz and these people.
But it's not just that, Brad. It's the whole idea that our thoughts create. And that if we give up, then our mind tells the body to give up. Yeah. If we recalibrate and talk to ourselves like we're full of worth beings, then the whole alteration changes. Right. We got to take our power back. And since you got your power back because you've realized you're better off floating than you are gravitating, because this third dimensional realm is so harsh on the physical body, and then we harsh it more just by our attitudes, just by the way, oh, I'm sorry I did that. Well, you know what? You're creating sorrow in your body. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you came out of that deficit. Way cool.
Yeah, it is. It's you make up your mind, and it really is. And you have to settle the waters to clear it because we were all inundated with all this useless information that scattergoes us across the bejesus, and we're left to like, well, what do I do with it? Because when you go to school, they just secularize you into different factions that don't really jive with each other. But when you get a whole sense of how all these sciences and things come together behind the scenes, you get a better appreciation. Then your perception of reality changes.
Yeah, it does.
You can
and
connect
then it makes
the dots.
You want to share what you know too, because that's the whole part of the essence is the give and share. I'm trying to take the take word out. It's very hard with this English language, but anyway.
Give and take. It is. It's a two-way street, and you got to give to get. And it's not about. It's reciprocal, and it's a beautiful thing when you realize how the multiverse truly works. And it's up to you, and you can make it, heaven or hell. It's your choice, and
Exactly.
it's a huge disparity, and a lot of people are kind of in the middle and kind of inundated with useless information. And if they tune into true reality, they'll find their answers, and that's what led me to a modern health coach and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, it's been a great ride, and once you make up your mind, the multiverse will meet you in the middle and help connect the dots for you and come into the rescue when you thought you were down and out. Just, so have faith and keep on chugging, folks.
Okay, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to anyway. What's the year you were born?
73, June 15, 10 a.m., William McGee's Hospital, 10 pounds, 6 ounces, healthy baby boy, Bradley John Mullner.
Pounds, oh my God. Oh.
Gemini, baby, all the way, left-handed Gemini.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, you contain your ping pong match very well.
I call it dueling to the one.
Pardon?
I call being a Gemini dueling to the one.
Exactly. So that should be a trinity.
Yeah. The Holy Trinity, exactly. When you come over your personality discrepancy, you reach the Holy Trinity in a Gemini state.
I will not but agree with you, especially since Jupiter just went through your solar house for a while. But you are, I feel, very much on top of it.
Thanks.
Oh, not a problem, man. I enjoy this because I was thinking back to how old I was then. It was my feral times, some of my feral times. And I'm glad to see that part of that recognition went to sustaining. I mean, I could imagine the torture you felt going and being amongst these liars, cheats, and backstabbers. And thinking that it was the right way, but it's not the right way. Because it just probably even helped make your injury worse because of things that were going on.
Yeah, I was, that night I chipped my kneecap on the ice in an ice hockey game was a bad night, but it ended up being the best night of my life because it led me to changing my whole construct and reality and profession and gave me insights that I really didn't have to look for. I didn't, people don't do things until you have to do them. So I was put on the spot to do this because I couldn't walk to work in New York, and I had to learn this stuff. And I had a science degree, and my dad always told me as a kid to solve your own problems. And I took that one to heart and, like I say, turned my science degree loose on health. And I was down and out. Believe me, I broke down and cried in the physical therapist room one day. It sucked. After the knee and the hip surgery, I was like, this should be better, right? And no, it wasn't. It was still the same issues, like a lame left leg kind of thing. So, but it takes those moments to shake you out of your comfort zone so you do have the wherewithal to go against the grain. And that's what I was doing. And people thought I was, out there and just whatever, but I was putting these pieces together and trying to explain it to people that are still disbelievers or in the system. And it made me move out from New York to LA to start Modern Health Coach, and from LA to Sedona to make Modern Health Coach really float and be solvent. And it is what it is today because I stayed true to my mission. I didn't listen. I kept, going on and had the vision of having a product, services, information website that is truly empowering to people and not misleading.
Well, why change the truth? I mean, I agree with you. And I had a question, so that is one of the reasons what got you into the alchemy of it, on how to rebuild and replace as well and get into those vibrational energies. I mean, this is such a vast, neat thing because I was an herbalist. Well, I still, I'm not in the business anymore. 35
Sure, you still know.
Yeah. Well, right, but it's a different venue, just like what you said, and I'm taking it as best that I can. And I'm very I tried to say blessed and proud at the same time. Proud.
Not bloated, are you?
Excuse me?
No, never. I said you're not bloated. It sounded like you combined the word bloated there.
Oh, no, no, But you replace the minerals and the things to help heal yourself besides the state of mind. And knowing that your inner ability to find the answers gave you the strength to be where you are today. So what is the health part that you incorporated into your adventure?
Good point. Yeah, first off is your mindset. Make up your mind to feel well, to be well, to be a vibrant, light entity that you are. And second is the materials here, like we're saying, the three-dimensional world we find ourselves in the skin. What are the raw materials that you need to put into your body to make yourself feel good? And what are the, put in the good and take out the bad. So what bad you need to take out? And basically, I start with people in detoxing, because kids are born with over 200 chemicals in their blood at birth now. It was 20 a decade ago. Now it's over 200. And so before you take your first breath, you're already somewhat toxic. And, if kids not being breastfed and the day school and we're from birth, and the food and the baby Gerber stuff, the formula, come on. That is like, that's grade C fuel. So
I could do that to my children. I did everything opposite, just like you're saying. It makes
so did my mom. Thank God. I was vaccinated. I was breastfed. Thank God I was breastfed. Sorry I was vaccinated. I wasn't allowed sugar cereals. My mom had wheat bread when all the other kids were running around with popsicles and stuff. So I had a good start. Thank God my mom was keen enough not to feed me the formula, to give me something from the tap, And I had a good start. My brother learned a little harder lesson, and mom learned with me. So I was lucky that I came out flying off the gates, And I took that to the nth degree with my science degree. And I really, I have a different background. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a chiropractor. I'm an environmental scientist. I did go back for kinesiology, which is the best model for health. It's traditional.
All right. Well, explain that, because I'm thinking eyes, but it could be something else.
Kinesiology is the best of East and West. It's traditional Chinese medicine married to Western anatomy and physiology. So in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, you have 14 major meridians. Your brain and your back are your central energy reservoir, and you have 12 other meridians shooting off of there: your liver, your gallbladder, your kidney, your large intestine, small intestine, heart. And they all have 2 hours of peak daylight, like a tide. They have 2 hours of peak and 2 hours of low tide, where they're doing their most and their least work. And basically, you have over energies and under energies. Too much energy and not enough in one of those 14 or more of those 14 circuits. So what we do as kinesiologists is bring the lows up and the highs down. It's like an EQ. You're making the sound crystal clear. So you basically, it's basically a tuning. It's an energetic tuning. And you do that once a month, and you're going to live in balance. And balance is a fine line. We get, you can have one thought and instantly change your pH of your spit. So you can make yourself sick with a thought, or you can make yourself well with a thought. And beyond the thoughts is manipulating. You have 42 muscles and 14 muscles in the kinesiology system. So you can, why is this lat tight? Why is this sore over here? Oh, that's my spleen. Oh, if I rub it, I can release the lymphatics and clear the blockage, so my spleen can operate and give me enzymes to break down all the cooked food I eat.
So acupressure.
You use acupressure, use light touching of the forehead. You have ways to balance. You basically do an assessment, and then you do the corrections. So y'all lay down on the table and have your arms and legs and have them stick out in funny positions. I'll ask you to hold 2 pounds of pressure for 2 seconds. And if you waver for 2 inches, then you got a little issue there. And then we find out if it's low or high. And then we ask the body, as the subconscious knows everything and does not lie. And if you can access the information through a binary system, like a muscle test, up, strong being yes and weak being no, then you can go through the series of questioning and ask the person. You didn't ask it inside your head to the person. They don't need to hear it. It works like that. It's
Have
amazing.
You done that for allergies for yourself?
I don't have allergies for myself.
You're very lucky for being a Gemini.
Yeah, I'm good with the allergies. I have plenty of enzymes. I eat some probiotics. We make our own sauerkraut and sprouts, probiotics and enzymes. So I'm good with that. What I do it for is pain. I have physical and chemical trauma.
Right.
I was an environmental consultant for 13 years on the front lines. I was exposed to everything. I was in ground zero for months, around it, every building around it, in the pit. I worked like a banshee, on the front lines, and I was exposed. No health and safety plans, 100%. I was exposed. And then I used to party for 20 years. I did everything under the sun almost. And I exposed myself on the weekends, exposed myself on the weekday. And then I was physically and chemically, traumatically affected. And that was my road to hoe.
Well, you look great for wearing yourself out there, man.
I just turned 41. I'm just hitting my stride. I've reconfigured myself. I've really done a lot of work.
I can at least say that, yes, I get to see him on video because we talk often. When the best we can connect up. So, yes, Brad, I want to warn you, just for the sake of it, when we do get to break, and it's usually around 25 after, you're going to have enough time to get a beverage and take a leak and maybe whatever else you might do. But it's not that long, but it's long enough. Okay?
Cool. Great.
And this really is, it is all a science, but it's a science not just of attitude, but intent. And it's not having to be a power play and a competition. But you know what? Life is a reaction. And competition is not a reaction. So I think that's where that comes in at. Because if we're good with ourselves, we're like that pebble. And it radiates out. And people really, sometimes somebody will walk in a room and you're going, oh my gosh. You just have to, leave the room. Or you're, running to that person, giving them a great big hug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the innate sense, and that's your spidey sense, if you will, your sixth sense that can pick up on someone's vibe and know if you're going to want to talk to them or not want to talk to them.
But that's why you need your meridians in the what'd you call it? Kinesiology.
Kinesiology. Kinesiology. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really great because if you're walking around balanced, you can deal with people. Things don't get you off whack. You can handle. A lot of people are so off balance they throw their problems on us, and puke on us.
Don't I?
So, so we need to keep ourselves balanced, and we bring the vibe up. We don't want to bring problems in the world. I want to solve problems and bring people and show them how we solve problems. That's my whole gist of my life.
Well, part of the healing is us doing it for ourselves.
That's the best healers, the ones that have gone through the road. It's show and tell, and I got to show you through my experience. I can tell you, but until I've gone through, you got to get through hell to get to heaven. Is the way I saw it.
Well, I think you just don't take any of it personally, and I'll know that it is my belief only that it is.
Yeah, and separate the ego. Get rid of the ego. It's not doing you good. It's just we're all one. We're all connected, and some of the information coming out today proves this, and it's really exciting. And we're basically living in a Newtonian Cartesian paradigm of the apple falls in my head, that must be gravity thing, to a holographic universe. So we're in the holographic universe world where we're part light and part matter. We're out of the Newtonian Cartesian model. That's 19th century stuff. That's what we're still operating in, though. But we need to operate as people in the photonic properties of light and matter.
Exactly.
So we're basically frozen light, is what we are.
We're glued together. Yeah. I remember always wanting to try what the karate ones did. Look past what's facing you, so you can get to it, and don't account for what is happening now. It's almost like having faith that it's all okay. Because I'm not trying to judge it. I'm not trying to contain it and hold on to it. Because that's part of what makes the aggravation and the dis-ease. And the reality checks that drive people crazy because there's so much influencing us. And if we take it personal, that means we're feeding it. And it's using us. We're not using it.
Correct. Yeah, it is, and it's a matter. Like I said, balance is a fine line. If you let things affect you, they certainly will. If you can keep yourself in balance, your sphere is intact, and when people influence your sphere, it's going to be more copacetic to your overall health. If you're maintaining your integrity of your information sphere, is what you are, your aura, basically. And that's no one tells you that. When you go to school, no one tells you how to balance yourself. They tell you to eat 3-2-4-4, the food pyramid scam made by the meat and dairy industry. They're not telling you what's best for you. It's a business decision on how they can make you the best consumer for their products. Government sees you as an end consumer. That's it.
I survived it very well, actually.
You're doing great.
A lot of it up, but as a child, I grew up in I was born in 58. So say I grew up in the 60s, at least till 10 years old. But thank goodness my mother had an idea on how to cook. But it was fructose corn syrup. It was all the beginning of the really power play control manipulation, because as soon as I saw what Kool-Aid did to children, I started investigating stuff. And when I found out that chamomile cures gangrene, I started going herbs, and then books would fall on me at bookstores. Here, you gotta have this book. Here, the spirit drops it at me. Oh,
you gotta love the synchronicities. They let you know you're on track.
Oh yeah, they do. And that's the funnest part. That's why I think it's all an adventure. There are no real problems. There's just opportunities to use the critical thinking and common sense that hasn't been taught. Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part is you create your reality, and it's up to you. And if you listen to the media, you're going to be incomplete. But if you listen to your gut and your heart, you're going to be a beaming entity of hopefully white light. And on that path, at least, enjoy the process, the unfoldment, the aha moments of like, wow, this can do that. Oh, cool. I don't need this anymore. I can do that. So it really is a one-up for yourself, and it's not an ego thing. It's just a raising your vibration to go with time.
Your mind. It's having your box top off and having your mind open. Have an open mind. And right. Not for other people's thoughts, but for being aware and beware, recognizing you do have that choice.
Right. And I just assume I have an open mind. I've incorporated over 220 products and services to open my mind to get Modern Health Coach to where it is. If I had a closed mind, I'd be eating, meat, milk, and taking aspirin every day. Excuse me. And that's not the case. I've opened my mind to accept there are better ways, and they are a real deal, and they are being withheld from us for profit, basically, and control.
Oh, yeah. Good old cabal.
So, yeah. So those are the people that are running the show, and it's up to us to do our own homework and to do I implore people to do their own research, and, just don't go to Wikipedia. That's all NWO and Rockefeller sponsored. Same with Quack Watch. Don't listen to that stuff. That's all censored and trying to confuse you. For every report that says this is good, there's another report produced by the NWO saying it's bad. So it's a mis and disinformation campaign. And it leaves people so confused they don't do anything. And then NWO wins, and then you're weakened, and then you're more susceptible, and you feel you need this product, all that crap.
All right, we're on the first break. We'll be right back in a few puffs of whatever. Later. We is back on Adventures of a Feral Hippie at freedomslips.com, listener supported, and we really do appreciate all my numbered and everybody's numbers of listeners, and we still need that support. And we're supporting other like minds of these agendas to sweep the junk off this planet. Oh, welcome back. Maybe he's not back. Maybe he has to unmute. Unmute.
Hey, man, I'm back.
And I'm front, and here we are, side by side. Hello, sir.
All right. welcome back. And yeah, it's just a good little intro just to kind of tell you guys where I'm coming from and where we're going with this. And it's been an exciting road to hoe and got a lot of people on board, and really excited about where we're at right now and where we're going. We actually coming to the New York City Expo October 17th and 19th. We'll be in New York for the New Life Expo. Really excited about that out there with Thunder and the energy holograms to get going with people, and excited to break the New York market. Been out on the West Coast for a while, got those guys going. So go back to my roots on the East Coast and tap into all my friends and show them what I got going on now. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, Thunder's show was a good show. It's nice to see that the good old boys are helping clean up this town.
Yeah, that's what it takes. Is it takes people that are comrades in arms here, and Thunder and I definitely are, and we've been working together for indirectly for over 5 years, and very directly for the last year and a half about. And it's been a real great acceleration. We combined our forces and got a lot that we symbiote with together. Basically, Thunder's a manufacturer of our energy holograms that we sell here at Modern Health Coach. He's done that for over 10 years. I've been selling them for over 5 years. And between us, we've turned a lot of heads on to a better way of living that enhances life. And it's been real exciting. We have energy holograms for health applications, for environmental protection, for agriculture improvement, and other codes. Basically, a lot of health codes and some environmental protection and energy efficiency. That's the one I was looking for. So, yeah. So basically, that's the big seller at Modern Health Coach is basically energy software. I mean, certainly minerals are key, enzymes are key, probiotics are key, and what you put in your mouth and what you think are very important. But a lot of things that people overlook, and I kind of specialize in, is between the lines. And I'm not talking frequency lines like a linear wave. I'm talking quantum or scalar or non-linear energy, or it's been called orgone, energetic matrix, Christ consciousness, 0 point energy is a new one. Ether, Einstein called it, thinner than air. It's got same name over several years. Dark matter is a new one. 90% of the universe is dark matter. That's non-linear energy.
Basically, I call it divine right order, because when it's all in calibration together, it's an order.
Right. It is, and it can permeate and go through walls and accumulate by waterfalls and around the earth. You'll see a little blue go. Wilhelm Reich's huge in the orgone, and he was able to manipulate and modify weather with it and improve health. And his sex box he had there, they called it.
But the thing is that all those inventors, but they didn't invent it. They just learned the truth. And they all got, Smithsonian. Somebody took all that information and now has used it against us.
Pretty much, yeah. Basically,
and that's what makes me more ticked off than anything, that people are feeling it. I mean, people are reacting in ways that they just don't know why. And it's because they've been insulted and don't even know it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like all the patents. Anytime something good comes to market, anytime something good gets the news, like a water car, Stan Meyer's water car in the 80s, that goes to the news. It's a game of whack-a-mole, with a game at the arcade where you have the little moles that pop up and when you hit them with the hammer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the technology suppression, I call it, is whack-a-mole. And so once it gets big, it gets suppressed because it cuts into the profits of drug companies and oil companies, which are the biggest industries on the world, energy and health. So once it cuts into their profits, they put the squash on it because they own the media and they own everything else, the governments. So it's really hard. So it's got to be a grassroots organization. That's what Thunder and I have come up with, is basically a self-empowering affiliate program that you can apply that will give you that subtle energy shift to at least get you going in that direction and help you invoke the frequencies you need and neutralize the ones you don't.
Right.
And we do that with a little postage-sized sticky hologram stamp.
I loved watching the video of the phone call and seeing because there was a monitor, and just watching it disappear. You know, there is so much technologically available, which really makes me proud of Thunder's mind because he's doing it through his heart, and so are you. And that's why I think this intent is more vital than just saying it's getting done.
Yeah. Well, it's enjoying the process of the unfoldment for myself, for anyone else that's on the path, quote. It's really a process, and it's taken me, 10, 15 years of diligent research to connect the dots because we didn't get the information coming out of the box. You didn't get the manual. Like I was saying, kinesiology is the map and the manual on how to manipulate your body to optimize it to run like a crystal clear sounding, entity you are. So it's really up to us, and there's a lot of leniency and a lot of leeway on either side of it. So these things that I've put together on my website is really an A to Z for even in your home, your car, your garden, your house, your bathroom, your kitchen, your supplement cabinet. These are all things that I've, basically when I was banged up in 03, 04, 05, 06, 07 in New York, I had the kernel of idea to start Modern Health Coach because I wasn't feeling the environment, clean up other people's messes. I had to clean up my own mess. So it led me, I was looking for Tiger Balm one night, and I found right frequencies. I'm looking for this on Google. I keep one thing leads to the next, always forward, never straight ahead. I kept on doing that and gaining steam. And now I have 21 manufacturers that I represent, 8 of them here in the state of Arizona. And I'm working with, Patrick Flanagan, David Jubb, Thunder, the best minerals and Bio Gold, Health Force Nutritionals. These are industry established gurus, if you will, that I basically got the collection and put them all on one site, so people don't feel confused. I try to, it's basically product, services, and information. First is the information, and then we'll see where you're at, and then hit the products and some services, obviously. But it depends on where people are coming from. But there's a lot of common underlying issues like acidity and anaerobic and under oxygen. There's a lot of common things from the food. We're all exposed to chemicals. We're all breathing the same air and the water. So there's a lot of common threads that can bridge the gap and get you results. And that's what I'm all about, is results. I don't have time for fluff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm all about getting her done. And the cheapest way, like baking soda, apple cider vinegar, diatomaceous earth. These things are wonderful products that are multi-use that I use every day.
Right.
That cost pennies on the dollar,
And they can be used also for pets.
Totally. I have DE for the ants I had outside. To cut anything that crawls, DE will cut it up, and it's good for worms and parasites in your body. And silica helps you absorb calcium. And there's tons of it's kind of going back to the turn of the century and kind of DIY and homesteading, because now that we're all inundated and no one's farming, everyone's buying on the food chain, it's tainted and it's slop, and we're pigs at the trough. If you don't stick your head up, you're gonna get put in the slaughterhouse. So stick your head up out of the trough, take a big breath, step away, go. There's always greener grasses. Go roam if you have to find them. That's what I did. And you'll be happy you did, because what you're told and what's real is far, far apart.
Exactly. And your body, like you said, will direct you if you only trust yourself.
Right. Listen to your gut. It'll tell you what it needs if you can tune out the BS and focus in on your cellular hygiene, is what I call it, and making all your cells, 75 trillion cells you have, and a lot more bacterial cells, but you need to make sure everything gets out of those cells and they can take in oxygen with sulfur and breathe, and that your cellular hygiene is beautiful. And that's kind of what I focus, getting down to the cellular detox level. Mm-hmm. And really rebuilding you a whole anew. And then you reprogram, Control-Alt-Delete, you put your belief system in, then you put the good materials in, start taking out the bad stuff, and you're flying.
Right. And it is so much happier and nicer to feel good. I mean, and that just kind of gets me, like what you were saying, because I've always had a solemn kind of like attitude, like in the background kind of feeling and way. And I think that just clarified why a lot of bullies wanted to push that off of me because I was always the picked on, always the one that, without knowing or trying, intimidated people because I think I found that energies no matter what was going on around me. And it isn't easy. And it's not easy to always find and accept. And it's a good thing I'm at my age now where I can now smile and release that. Why is this happening to me? Because...
Well, that's the question I ask myself. Why is this happening to me? And that's the choice and the fork in the road is I'm going to let this get to me. I'm going to let this better me. I'm going to make this a pole vault to the next step in my life, or I'm going to let this ruin me. It's a sink or swim, and that's a no-brainer. I mean, you can swim 5 different side stroke, backstroke, float any which way you want, but get up above the water and start stroking, and you'll be just fine when you make your way to shore and come anew. Mm-hmm. And I can see what you're saying when you talk to people and you kind of rub them the wrong way. I think you challenge their whole belief system, and the things that you and me believe in shatter their belief system, and they can't deal with it. They like nervous fritz out. So when you come across someone that is folding their arms in the concrete 3D world, you introduce something that shifts them, and they might resist it because it shatters their belief system. Everything they learned was like, grade D information.
Well, I create everybody I come in contact with equal until they prove me different. And I don't mean to be disparative about it, but, I see the wolf in the sheep's clothing.
I call myself a saint in dude's clothing.
A saint in what?
A saint in dude's clothing.
Dude, hey dude.
D-U-D-E. Like on Jeff Spicoli, your little intro there.
Which part was that?
I love the fast time quotes. I love the fast time at Ridgemont quotes you had at the beginning, and that made me think that I call myself a saint in dude's clothing. Okay. But I really have to investigate that because I really have no clue. I just love the promo because it really is funny. It's me. And the station owner is so good at what he does here. And we are so happy that we can sit here and communicate openly. We're not trying to really sell anything. We're just trying to help people feel better. And in this third dimensional realm, things have a price. And that's okay too. But I want one of each. Well, we all got to we're in the world. We're on we're all, wage slaves at worst and hopefully self-empowered entrepreneurs at best in the system that we trade around these debt notes. So we got to work longer through the year because they're worth less, and it puts us all under the grind. And no wonder everyone's stressed out, fat, broke, and sick because they got to deal with today's world, and I understand. So there's a lot of things that I have put together that kind of take you through that process and come full circle and kind of give you a sense of a grip on the whole situation because it's daunting, man. It's overwhelming, all this stuff. When I first got into this, it's confusing. Thank God I had a science degree to discern bullcrap from reality.
Exactly, right.
If I didn't have that, I can see where people would get lost and then not do anything and end up listening to Dr. Oz and then whatever. But so I can see where that happens, and that's where a modern health coach comes in, and it gives people tools or just information that they can empower their lives with, and that's the whole deal. Because the more it's all about being aware. The more we get a handle on our situation, the more we empower and have a better life and go back to communities and not be such a cog in the wheel,
Well, I think right now we have to change the wheel because the other one's got bad tread on it.
Like you say, I don't think you can change the wheel. I think the wheel's just going to blow out, and then we're going to jack the car up on the side of the road for a couple of years, and then get a new one on there and be fine. Better off,
What? I think the more we get involved, the more it will change. Just like the pebble in the water. And if people are going to get passed by, it's nobody else's reason or rhyme. It's just that is what it is. And we cannot carry dead weight. And I'm not trying to be mean or insensitive or anything, but this whole process that I feel is grander than just us being humans here experiencing this existence.
Right. It is way grander. We're not here to make money and retire and hoard a bunch of crap and then pass it on to our kids. We're not here for that. We're here to get home in this dimension. We're here to get to source in this lifetime. I'm not going to go back on the karmic wheel and come back as a rat. Well, I'm going to get home in this lifetime and be floating around and doing more good than I can do in this body, believe it or not. So while I'm here, I'm doing all I can to see that through, so we don't have such a rough transition from dark ages to the new dawn, if you will. We're, like I was saying, coming out of the Newtonian Cartesian paradigm, going into a holographic universe paradigm, which makes much more sense and fits all the models. If you look at, I took a college class in '95 called Consilience, talking about all the sciences are coming to dead ends. Physics, chemistry, biology, they're all coming to dead ends, but they all meet in the quantum physics world. They're all kind of tied in, so everyone's in their secular realm.
So they're the mechanics of the physics.
Pardon?
So they're the mechanics of the physics.
Yeah, it's really quantum stuff. It's really peculiar that we're finding that the photonic properties of light and matter, we're not just an atom. The atom is 99.9% space. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's held together by energy. Every energy, I mean, everything has a frequency, right? Which is a measurement of a wave from peak to peak. 1 hertz is 1 second for the peak to go across to the other peak. That's 1 hertz, and that's actually your deepest brain waves. Oh, by the way, the frequency for an orgasm is 0.9 hertz, okay? So there's different frequency for hair growth. There's all different frequencies, delta, alpha waves, theta waves, all these different brain waves, and your body communicates about 1 to 20 or 40 hertz, right? When you use a cell phone, that's megahertz. That's millions of cycles per second, which basically your cells don't know what to do and they crap the bed. Imagine trying to read a book and someone comes behind you with an air horn, being the cell phone at megahertz, and your book is a low frequency like you're reading. You can't think, so your cells poop the bed. They leak stuff, and so we have solutions for that. We have EMF diffusers. We have grounding. We have things you can do to not let the higher, categories, frequencies get your wires all frayed.
Right. Right.
And along those lines, it's really exciting. Like I was going to say, 9 out of 10 best-selling products on my website are energy holograms, and I'm really excited about that. I know Thunder is too. I have a lot of good stuff on there. Believe me, it's loaded up, but these are hot as can be right now. And I wanted to offer your viewers or your audience a 2-for-1 sale on our fuel efficiency hologram. Basically, we have a hologram, which is a postage-sized, trippy-looking sticker that's embedded with frequencies that makes your gasoline burn cleaner, or your diesel, or your propane. And all you need to do is to place the hologram on your gas tank or your propane tank out back or your diesel tank, and within a few minutes, the information in the hologram would charge your gasoline or your fuel, and information tells matter how to behave, and the code sets in that particular hologram has dramatic effects on your fuel. Basically, in documented experience and my experience, we witness tailpipes that have exhaust that's almost like dryer vent steam. And that power increases, and most times fuel efficiency increases, and more in diesel than gas. And this is documented, and we have hundreds and thousands of people out there who have taken this to the test for us. And so I want to let your viewers in on a 2-for-1 sale.
Right. We'll get back to it on the flip side, because we're now at our top of the hour break. We'll be back in a minute. Okay. And here we are again at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, and Mr. Bradley, all about trying and getting out there the information of how we can take our power back and reharmonize ourselves. That will reharmonize our environment. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's your divine right to go with the times here and succumb to the rising vibration that we're all experiencing. And what I was getting into before the break is a great way to do that is invoking this subtle energy shift. Because you can think about 20,000 frequencies that are good for you, and you probably do a pretty good job if you're focused on it, but who's got time for that? So what we do is we put the frequencies into the holograms and let the holograms do the thinking and the delivery for you, so you can think about what you got to think about and not have to worry about all these health codes that we can put into the hologram. So we have, like I say, everything's energy. Every energy's got a unique signature resonant frequency. The Earth is 7.83 hertz. Cat's purr is a frequency. Sun has a frequency. The planets have frequencies. Magnesium's a frequency. And your body doesn't recognize the difference between a frequency for magnesium and magnesium. So just give it the frequency and it'll tell it how to behave. It'll instruct it. Your body communicates via frequencies. And when you put a megahertz frequency into a 1 to 40 range hertz frequency, it don't jive. And your body is frayed by that. So what we've done here with the holograms, Thunder and I, is been able to establish several health codes. This modern health codes is what I do. But having an environmental background and seeing how much your environment makes your health part of the equation, I have a real unique outlook on this. And I put a big precedence on your environment, because your environment, if your environment is sick, you're going to be sick. I don't care what you do. You're a product of your environment, as much as you don't want to believe that. So what we need to do is clean up the environment. Hence my 13-year environmental career. It's now led to this. So what we're doing here, and what I want to offer your guests, is on the fuel efficiency hologram. You go to my website, modernhealthcoach.com. Actually, take that back. If you go to my website version with my friend Mona, that has modernhealthcoach.com/affiliates/Mona's Corner, and you go on there, you'll help support the radio station here that you're listening to, and you'll get a 2-for-1 fuel efficiency hologram at modernhealthcoach.com/affiliates/Mona's Corner, MONASCORNER, and go to that version of go to Mona's version of my website, support her, and also support your exhaust not stinking, support hopefully better mileage in your car, and support a little more oomph when you put the pedal down. So what we're offering is a 2-for-1 of the fuel efficiency hologram. And we have third-party lab documentation from an EPA-approved lab facility that Thunder had paid the 5 figures to have done a few years ago. And then you go on to that product page at the fuel efficiency, you'll see the third-party lab report documenting about 25, I think, to 40% reduction in emissions on the first try. 25 in diesel, 25% in gas, 40% in diesel, emission reduction on the first try. Third-party EPA lab document, okay? So it couldn't be any more concrete for the concrete world that we're in. Now, when you get the 2-for-1, ideally, you want to put one on your gas tank for your car. And then if you have your wife's car, you can put one on hers. But what I like to do is put one on a gas tank, one hologram on a gas tank, and you put tape over it, clear off a little spot on the lower half wall of the gas tank. Simply place the hologram on the gas tank, cover it with some duct tape so it doesn't fall off. And a real good job of that so it doesn't fall off. And then within a few minutes, your RPMs will dip a little bit, your exhaust won't stink, and you'll get a little more oomph, and hopefully your mileage will improve, and it definitely does most of the time, and quite dramatically in diesel more so. So basically, you put one on your gas tank, and then what I like to do is put one on like an old library card or an old credit card or some old little wallet card, and put the hologram on that, put a piece of scotch tape over it to protect the information, just like a CD. If you scratch the CD, it won't play as good, right? Mm-hmm. So cover the hologram up, and then anytime anybody gets a full tank of gas, all you do is you slip that credit card with the hologram on it in the gas, like between the skid guard underneath the gas tank and the gas tank, just kind of wedge it in there while they're filling up. And then within 5 minutes, you can pull it away. Don't forget to pull it away. I've had some I left under there. Pull that gas card away, and then that tank is charged. And with that tank being charged, you'll get better performance and less emissions. And if everyone does that, we'll put a huge dent in this thing. If we can reduce emissions 40% off the bat, 25, I mean, that's a big dent. I don't
Does
see
it
anything
help
else out
with
there even
mileage
close.
too when you do that?
Pardon, Mona?
Does it help with mileage when you do that?
Yes, it definitely does. Some of the old, make sure your car's in good working condition, and make sure everything's up to snuff and it's operating properly. And then it should most times give you mileage improvements. Some car makes are a little funky. Everyone gets mileage improvements, more so in diesel, and it's phenomenal. And it can actually, and put it this way: if you have a car that runs on super gas, you don't need to put super gas in. You can put 87 octane in and put the hologram on there. It's like 98 octane, I think. I forget. Thunder can tell you more on that one. But it's more than what your car needs. More than 97 or 98. It's 108, I think he said. So just by, if you need some cars need super gas. So just there, you're saving 20 cents a gallon by putting regular gas and then charging it yourself and increasing the octane through the quantum hologram program. So there you're saving 20 cents a gallon. Now, if you got a diesel car or a truck, or you're a trucker, you know anyone in the business, I mean, there's huge opportunities here. So basically, you want to put one on your tank and then one to share, because it's too good to keep to yourself. So that's the point of giving away two here. And it's $111, but it's an investment. It's going to pay for itself in money savings on fuel costs and in health from not having a stinky exhaust.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I mean, that's my whole goal for this, is to clean up ourselves and environment. I love it when you're saying about the propane tank outside.
Yeah.
Because then it's less liable to, I don't want to say condensate, but that could be part of it. You know, I mean, it eliminates the toxins from it, which I think would give it more mileage.
Yeah, just by the fact of making it burn more efficiently, like less toxins, it's going to burn more efficiently. I said that backwards. Just by the fact that the emissions are cleaner, thereby it's burning more of the fuel. So you're getting more of the power output into your motor to go forward. When you, like the normal, right now, when you press on the pedal, 20% of the energy in gasoline goes forward. The other 80% is lost in friction and heat. So that's very inefficient. We have a long way to go in the internal combustion engine. And there are cars that run on water and cars that run on air, no doubt. But everyone's
electric.
In the system. Pardon?
And electric.
And electric, yes, exactly. And there's hybrids. And I have, if you look at the fuel efficiency product page, I have a 96 Cherokee, 4.0 liter engine, you know, nothing special on it. And I have a hologram on there, obviously. And if you look at the product page, that's my California state smog test result right there. I blew a 0.0 on my carbon monoxide and 0.0 on my nitrogen oxides. Hydrocarbons down a little bit for an engine of that size and length of duration. But that's concrete evidence. That's a California state smog test result, 0.0, by putting a trippy looking sticker on my gas tank for $100. I mean, come on, that's beautiful, right? So that's plug and play. It's needed. That's why we have an affiliate program that you can earn 40 and 20% on these. There's obviously room in the margin from a few dollar hologram to $100, but it's the value people find in it. No one's going to pay for a computer chip $2,000 for a little computer chip until it does something, right? And so it makes me think of that movie Zoolander. It's in the computer. You know, so no one's going to pay for anything until it has value. People are finding value in this because you're made of water. You can change the structure of your water.
I know.
You can improve your health, and it's the information that tells matter how to behave. So why don't we start there? You know, just like you can tune your brain. Is a brain tuner, is a frequency tuner. It's a big radio. You can tune in any channel you want. But we put the hologram to tune into these channels to improve gas, to reduce EMF, to help with your thermal applications, and then all the health codes that we have. So it's a real slick plug and play solution we have, and we got about 16 unique products on the website, 4 packs. You get a whole bunch of holograms in one pack and save some money that way. But the best way that we're doing it.
Different holograms, right?
Yeah, we do. Thunder and I came up with 4 of MHC exclusives this year: a LED for pain and beauty, a Ormus Minerals, a Voltron, a Radiant Energizer, and a Lyme Away for Lyme disease. That Lyme disease card.
Cool.
Yeah, that's big in the Northeast. Now, I had Lyme too. Thank God I took the Western route, the oxycillin, 21 days, didn't drink, and it knocked it out. Thank God. But if not, we've got 235 frequencies because you got to get all of the stages of the larva, the adult, the pupa. Those are all different frequencies. We put 235 frequencies into the Lyme card, and like the LED is low frequency. LED lights are coming out now, actually developed by NASA and approved by the FDA for pain management and beauty. That's the only thing I do that they approve of is LED lights. So we have since 1920s when Rife came out with the frequencies, right? Mm-hmm. I have a Rife machine. I have all the frequencies embedded by symptom A to Z. We have all the frequencies. We know you cannot escape the mathematics. Like I'm saying, the Earth is 7.83 Schumann resonance. You cannot escape the math. So we have all the frequency code sets. We know what we're doing. We put them into the holograms. The health codes, like the Gold Eagle, has 18,000 frequencies. And just to let you know, holograms were designed to store information like a CD. But imagine it as a 3-dimensional CD that can hold more information. Imagine it as a stack of CDs.
That's what we are.
We are living in a holographic universe.
Seriously.
Explain that to your viewers. A holographic universe is you contain the part and the whole. Your DNA has a part that contains the whole. If you take out one part, you can keep continuing the whole. That's called a whole-on. It has the part and the whole. So we have the part in the DNA, the whole in the DNA, and the part is the DNA strand. So we can impart those frequency code sets into the hologram, and that part changes the whole, So you put this card next to your sphere of information or your aura, or your biosphere, whatever you want to call it. You put it within a few inches or on your wall or in your pocket or under your glass of water, and sure as can be, that the code sets in there will permeate that matter and give it different properties. We can put a hologram underneath a lemon and make it taste not as bitter and sweeter and more juicy. We can put a hologram underwater with the health codes that we have and make it softer and more palatable and hydrates you deeper. We can put holograms on a HVAC heating, ventilation, and air conditioning vent that's blowing hot or colder air and make it come out colder or hotter. So it saves you money. You don't have to run your furnace as long. We have you get a little thermal infrared gun that measures temperature and you shoot it at your vent of the air coming out. Without a hologram, it's probably 58 degrees. You put a hologram on, it drops down to 48, 49 degrees. And I've seen that from my own eyes and other people's as well. It's
because
really
the waste, it harmonizes the waste. Is that it?
It just it depends on the frequency code set. It harmonizes the matter. It
right.
Basically imparts, say for like the fuel, it harmonizes the fuel. There's I think 83 or so constituents in gasoline that aren't good for you. Mm-hmm. So if say benzene is 123 hertz, okay, which is a wave that looks something like this, okay, and we take a negative 123 hertz, the inverse, and neutralize those frequencies out. So thereby it burns cleaner. Yeah, so we'll take out the bad, put in the good on 10 different levels, as I say.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, and so, if your listeners go to modernhealthcoach.com/affiliates/Mona's Corner, go on there, order yourself a fuel efficiency hologram, and type in the code MONA, MONA, and you can get your 2 for 1, okay? And then that way you have one for yourself and then one for sharing. And then if you're into it, you can sign up under Mona and start rocking and rolling for free and selling these as yourself.
Well, you take it to your workplace with you if you're stuck in one of those darn cubicles. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can benefit. I agree.
Yeah, it's like that commercial for BASF. We don't make this, we don't make that, we just make it better. And that's exactly what we're doing here.
You make it more honest.
Well, we're not a corporation. We're a grassroots.
That's a good plus too.
Yeah, it's Thunder and I, and me and our girlfriends here holding the fort. We got some help with some tech stuff, and he's been making them for 10. I've been selling them for 5. I love what I do. I'm so blessed to be in the energy software distribution business. You kidding me? I empower people. I give people hope. I flip people's switches on every day of my life, and I love it.
I know, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think that's what we're here for.
It is, and it is. And I went to school and I was a class clown and I joked around and I made everyone laugh and it was like I call myself an extra medium. Hey, I have a joke for you. What do you call a midget fortune teller that escapes from prison?
Lucky.
Small, medium, at large. That's the story of my life. I feel like I'm like a midget, but people haven't listened to me yet. A medium is I'm seeing the future, and at large because I got out of the system.
Right. Lucky.
That's the only joke I tell, but it's my life story. So please, listeners, go out there, hook yourself up with hook your car up and hook yourself up with the 2-for-1 offer, and it really will help yourself out, will help your car out, help the guy behind you in traffic out, not breathing your stinky exhaust. And it'll help Mona's radio station out and help her support and do what she does. It's a beautiful situation.
Oh, I agree. Well, because if we don't take responsibility and is available to respond, then what the heck is your journey here for or about? Yeah, etc.
Right. Well, in the government's eyes, you're just a consumer. That's all they see you as. You just eat stuff, pay taxes, and die. That's the shitty existence. Excuse my language. But,
that's okay. Well, yeah.
So there's a much more to this. And it's all about getting each other home. We got other dimensions to ascend to.
Well, shouldn't we take care of the home we already have?
First things first. Exactly. And that's a great point, Mona. That's my point. I live in Sedona, Arizona, all right? Spiritual Disneyland of the world. Everyone out here is all about taking off and talking to these people and these beings and all this. Let's get back in our bodies. Let's deal with the problems here. Let's take care of these, and then we can ascend. You're not going to get anywhere if your chakras are all out of alignment. You're going to be impinging your energy.
Right.
So it really is a matter of. That's why kinesiology is so important. You balance your system so you can handle the energy when it does come your way.
Well, but I'm lazy, so I like the holograms. They can do it for me. But I'm teasing, but I'm not. Because I really believe in the old ways. Like Michael Tellinger. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos.
I know, Michael. I love Michael Tellinger's work.
Oh, my gosh. Just hearing the stones vibrate.
Right.
And like Coral Castle, to think that this man, by intent of the tools he had in his hands that supposedly look like ice cream cones, right?
Right, he had the 2 on his hand. He was 90 pounds. He had massive stones that he erected in like a crazy looking layout in Florida. Go to Coral Gables and check out Coral Castle. It's amazing.
Oh, but that's the whole thing. See, people don't believe that it's possible. I think that's the only way the pyramids could have been built. Yeah. Because humans are ignorant upon, we're not machines also, to the repetitiveness.
Right. Well, we're creatures of habit.
Hmm?
We like our toast and our jam every day. We like creatures of habit. We like our little hobbit hole.
Oh, well, I haven't figured that out yet, so I don't go there. But you're right.
There's a lot out there, and the thing is that like the Egyptian pyramids and coral castles and UFOs, these things don't fit the model that we're given, so they exclude them, they ignore them, they push them under the rug, and they whack people that go against that. So there's a lot of things that don't fit the model that we're in this Newtonian Cartesian model, and the holographic universe does fit these things. It does make sense of remote viewing and how everyone has the near-death experiences and leaving the body and all these things. Mm-hmm. Science can't. We haven't. Science hasn't caught up with spirituality, and And the hardcore scientists haven't caught up with that.
Yeah,
now,
but they're not
physics,
able to because they're not at the right frequency because they have no belief. They want to have proof, and we have to be with it, not trying to annihilate it by tearing it to pieces.
Right, exactly. And it's a transition period that we find ourselves in. It's very exciting times, very dualistic. You know, the best and the worst, and more millionaires and more homeless people. We're living in very dualistic times, and we're striving for singularity. We want to get back to source. We want to get back to harmony. We don't want to get back to being pulled apart, yin and yang. We want to get back to a harmonistic view, and that's what, you know, I'm all about. These holograms induce and help get that shift started in an instant, and it's a great time we find ourselves in, and I'm really excited to be sharing this stuff with you guys. It's so much.
Well, because I remember even when Thunder was on, that he was talking about how he facilitated to where the radiation is gone and
right.
other conditions of those natures. And we are affected. And if he has the harmony for this and you together, I think I'm just really all for the idea. Plus, I like stickers. You know, I'm a sticker kind of girl.
Plug and play, Mona. It's the beautiful thing. It's just slap it up there and let the information make the matter behave more in your favor. And it is. And we do need to clean up this planet first and foremost because our environment is infiltrating our health to the nth degree, and you don't even know it. People are, you know, EMF is serious. Radiation from Fukushima, was it 100 or 1,000 times worse than Chernobyl? You know, so, you know, it's being aware. It's taking the appropriate steps that are outside of the mainstream box, and it's having faith in your gut to trust doing that. That whole, you know, in between two worlds kind of thing. Do I step before I leave my other foot, or do I, you know, like that comfort of the security blanket? So have faith, folks. I've done over 20,000 hours of research since 2003 to right my ship. And I've connected mad dots, and they're beautifully sane. Let me tell you, the more you understand, the more you grasp, the more it all comes full circle, and the bigger your worldview is, the more you can change your scope of view from macro to micro. Mm-hmm. And like they say in Greek, you know, as above, so below. And in traditional Chinese medicine, you know, change the within and above. It's the same concept. Over time, in every civilization, history repeats itself. Mm-hmm. You know, and we've been through this before, and we've had dark ages and light ages and rebellions and squashes and Roman empires falling again and again. So
because it's all a power play of hiding the truth of the mechanics of the etheric and the esoteric.
Yeah, it is a power play, and we're getting played out. And if you don't wake up, you're going to be not playing. You're going to be working as a slave bot with drones flying over you and keeping you in line. So it's really it's really on the fence, and it's really pivotal. And it really we really hope that you can see what we've done here, and at least to acknowledge or get on board in some degree and help proliferate and just make other folks aware of what's going on, what you can do about it on a common sense, practical, economical solution. And that's what Modern Health Coach is all about. If you look at the top of my banner, next level solutions. And that's what I've done since I had to do it when I was all banged up 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
You know, it's really come full circle. You know, Thunder's been doing this for 10 years, manufacturing holograms. He's got ridiculous amounts of feedback and information out there. And working with us here at Modern Health Coach, it's been really exciting this last year and change. We got it going on. We got great products and great feedback and a great system. We're doing, just to let you callers know or your viewers know, we have about the affiliate program. Fine, we can earn 40% on a $100, $200 sale. That's great. You didn't sign anything to come on. You just an affiliate. You point them to a link. You get an email. Commission's been generated. Boom. You just made money. You didn't do anything. Beautiful thing. And you help someone out. Forget about money. You help someone out, and you made it worth your time. All right. And then after that, Thunder and I are doing calls 5-6 days a week, informing people on how to get into the side of this business, if you will, and to be an energy software distributor, and to make this more impactful for your circles of friends, we're leading calls 5-6 days a week to basically get everyone on board and to give it from the horse's mouth. Thunder and I are devoting that amounts of time to get everybody up to speed with this amazing technology.
Back, we're gonna target. That's a Thunder Light Team, right?
Yeah, thunderandlightteam.com.
All right, we'll be right back. Woohoo! Yes, we are. We're back out of Adventures of a Feral Hippie. Gosh.
Sometimes words just don't work.
Yeah, and it's not even Mercury retrograde yet. You know what I mean? Anyway.
It's Friday.
Pardon?
It's Friday.
I don't take anything as an excuse. It is what it is, whatever. And all the different perspectives and that are allowed out there are, you know, real great. But I am wondering that environmentally and the other things like that. Now, what if by chance things were like what you said, the military base, and they have these towers that are omitting gosh knows what, because I don't believe they're a god. I believe they're just a bunch of power-hungry penis players, but that's just my opinion. And that, you know, the phontics or the vibrations or the other things that these poor soldiers are being dialected under while they're asleep, etc., they're literally being brainwashed.
Yeah.
And now it's working towards the police departments. Oh, our friendly people. And these cards that we would carry in our pocket would actually benefit to help at least maybe harmonize the damage so it could heal itself or whichever. But I mean, we got to look at the bigger picture here, people. There are real sufferers out there that are going through a hell that you would never ever believe. But if you're volunteering for places and you have these cards in your pocket, etc., it will radiate out to a degree that no matter the matter, it will be changed.
Well said, Mona. That sounds about right. I mean, first we got to defuse the harmful frequencies coming at us. We have an anti-chemtrail, an anti-radiation, and an EMF product. And then we we neutralize the baseline to get us to a homeostasis that's acceptable for 2014, not what we're dealing with now with, you know, the different, you know, HARP and chemtrails and radiation, all these things. So by having that card on you, you can neutralize the negative effects from those frequencies that you're bombarded with all the day. I mean, all the time. And then after that, after you've neutralized those from your phone and from car, then you can start incorporating healing codes and putting those into your pocket and let those vibe on you and permeate. And the beautiful thing on the health codes is that the effects are cumulative. You're made of 2/3 water. I mean, when you're born, you're 98% water. When you die, you're 50% water. So keep that water table up, and that 3/4, 2/3 is very programmable. Water is like a memory stick, and the effects are cumulative. So if you keep wearing the hologram and charging your water, using it as a coaster, same with the environmental code sets. You want to use them as a coaster to program the water, and then drink the water, and then you pee out the other, and you keep replenishing the water with the smart water. Mm-hmm. Your body's going to get the idea after a short time with this. And, you know, for deeper problems, it's going to take longer.
So is that like a retraining the body so the body can do it on its own?
Yeah, it's like your brain's a frequency tuner, and it can tune at certain frequencies. But these little holograms are radios, right? And they broadcast frequencies. And your brain, your body picks up or listens to the frequencies that it needs or wants to listen to, and does not even give a hoot or listen to the frequencies that it does not need. Just like you'll tune into a channel you want to watch, and you don't watch the daytime soap operas, but you don't give a hoot about that drama.
So it would actually even help with the MK Ultra mind dislocations.
Yeah, I'm not, I can't speak to that concisely, but I can certainly help. Anytime you can neutralize a frequency that you don't want in your body, you're going to be better for it. Whether it's
right.
Whether it's to like a Manchurian candidate thing, or just a HARP or a chemtrail, which is aluminum, barium, and strontium, and now stocky botcher is falling from the sky. They've been taking a break on us here in Sedona for a while, so it's been nice. I think the monsoon rains kind of scare them away from wasting money on dumping that crap on us. But
they usually do that here before it rains, so it comes down in the rain.
Right. They did it all before the monsoons, and then the monsoons, which was rains in July and August here in Arizona, and now they haven't done it because it's raining. So they did it for months before the monsoons, and now it's it's clear skies. But there's still plenty of reason to protect yourself. And what I call it, Mona, is holistic. Sorry.
Go ahead. I was agreeing.
No. I call it holistic shock and awe. George Bush called it shock and awe. Well, I call it holistic shock and awe. You got to get it from all the levels: physical, chemical, emotional, electrical, spiritual, social, environmental, and now quantum.
Right.
So if you can incorporate these different facets of your being into your health regime, you can really nip this in the butt and turn us around 180 degrees and get back onto your divine right, if you will, to have this quality of an existence and not be a wage slave. So, it is the holistic shock and awe approach that I use. And these quantum energy holograms is a very big part of that, because it's delivering what you need all the time. And you don't got to think about it. And it's really price effective for what it does. Instead of wearing the Rife machine strapped to your back all day in a backpack with all the frequencies you need, and you don't have to do that. We put all the code sets into the hologram, and then the hologram is like a flash drive or a CD that you wear, and that plays through it. The hologram is a matrix. It's a bunch of 90 degrees of lines. It's aluminum and silica, and it holds information infinitely well. And somehow, through the matrix of it, it taps into the nonlinear energy, Tesla style, and broadcasts the frequencies in an 8-inch radius range that is rather effective for various applications. And if you know anybody that has health problems, or has got a car or a cell phone, you've got a market. So we've got a lot of work to do, and we're really excited to get this out there.
Okay. You also had a offer of helping corporations that have like fleets of vehicles.
Yeah.
That could actually do a larger cause. And that's where a lot of extra help could come in if you wanted to do a community uplift.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Everyone has their circles of friends. We all have people that are in certain businesses and that have fleets. Instead of doing this one by one, let's go to UPS and FedEx that are, the corporation. Some corporations aren't really interested in saving, like the government's not interested in. They like their gas tax. They like getting 50 cents a gallon every year. They're not interested in saving fuel. But for the average private company, they're interested in savings, very interested. So you can go after a trucking fleet company, or a taxi cab, or a HVAC company, or any EMF, a communications company. And if you get 40% of a bunch of holograms, you just did yourself a good year's work in a day. So that's the way to put a dent in it, is get some of the bigger chunks of people using the information. But it's like people in a house don't use as much energy as commercial and industry does, and agriculture. These are the ones that are using all the resources. My 5 gallons when I'm brushing my teeth or washing my face is nothing compared to the tens of thousands of millions that are wasted every day by business and government and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So we got to get, we got people putting these in schools. We got people putting the holograms in buildings and everything. So we're getting the pilot studies out. We got trucking companies going, getting feedback and everything. So it's happening, and it's really exciting to have the platform. First off, the product is across the board improves life. Secondly,
you have evidence of it because you've got the paperwork to back this up.
Yeah, and another thing on the EMF, you'll go to your version of my website. On the EMF, you'll see the product page. You'll see another third-party EPA lab-approved report documenting a 25 or 22 to 40% reduction in EMF coming off your phone just by putting a hologram on it. And it's been documented in the third-party EPA lab and from other people doing videos. You'll see a video on the product page of someone else with a little hand sensor that knocks the EMF down coming off a phone, a little video demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we like.
It doesn't have to be a smartphone either.
No, it doesn't. And that's what we like is these people in the field, our assistant coaches out there are doing this work, and you're not hearing it from me or Thunder, you're hearing it from someone else. And then we keep doing that, and that adds credibility, which we've got, and it's going great. So we're really excited to unleash the potential here. And we have the format, we have the infrastructure, we have the communications with the calls every day, and getting people up to speed with this technology because it's really breaking down walls and building a new field of existence for us that is really hunky-dory. You know,
it's going through the walls, buddy.
Right, it is. Just like your megahertz, your cell phone goes through the walls, we can put frequencies through the walls, and this is going through the roof.
Well, it's a quantum bubble.
Yeah, and it's and you know what? The beautiful thing about this is, Mona, that these holograms working the way they do lets us know that we're all connected, and that's it. We're all one. We're all in the multiverse here. We're all in this together. This energy is transferable. You can send Reiki across the world if you want. We can get holograms. We're all connected, and that's the beauty of this. Is that being out of the Newtonian Cartesian paradigm, we're in the holographic universe, and these concepts like the pyramid being built by slaves don't fit the model, so they exclude it. Well, in the holographic universe, all this is acceptable. These phenomenon are within the model of the holographic universe, like near-death experiences and all these other things. They fit, so it makes sense for people because we all have these experiences, and someone telling me on TV to do this and that doesn't jive with people getting it now. We're slowly waking up. We're still hitting the snooze bar, a little bit, but people are waking up. We need it sooner than later, and this is the way to make it sooner.
I had a question because for what I'm seeing about the nanos and the other things like that, I mean, they want us all machines. Okay, we're already sheep, so the machine didn't work good enough. And does that help abate it, like anybody with more gallons or anything? I know everything can manifest into a better harmony, so it annihilates itself to a degree. But, you know, I want to put it out there that there's so many things that can be rectified just by these stickers.
Right, and if we don't have it now, we can add it in. Like I'm saying, we can run the scan on it. And we can run the frequency scan on it, see what like for Morgellons, which is falling from the sky, basically. We can get the frequency, find it, pinpoint it, make sure it's accurate, and then put it into the hologram. So we can generate anything, anytime. Once we can get our scanner on it, we can rip a new frequency, and it's endless. We can make custom sets. We're coming out with a custom 6-pack of holograms. You can pick out 6 from the website, put them all on one hologram. On one card, and you can custom frequency set. So there's a lot you can do with, and then like again, the hologram is just like a flash drive or a CD that parlays the information onto you. Right. And they work for well over 2 years. Documented for 2 years, but I've had some for several years that still work fine. So you're going to get your money's worth on them, and it's going to work. And then you don't got time to think all these thoughts. So leave it up to that, and then you can, and this will help invoke higher thoughts for your betterment, really.
Mm-hmm.
And
the stronger we are, the more we can get accomplished. For the future is not just 7 generations or 3 generations. It's now.
Yeah, that's right. The better you feel, the more you can get done. If you don't feel good, you ain't doing squat. You're sitting there in a wallow. So who's doing good there? So it's really, lace up your boots, clear your trauma for people in the audience, clear all the old trauma, tap it out with EFT. Even though my daddy beat me, I'm afraid of planes. I keep complete love, except myself. Tap that out, and then get all the old trauma out, and then start clearing the environmental. Watch your home, make sure you're not all these new formaldehydes and VOCs and all this stuff in your home, and mold that's poisoning you. There's so much mold out. I did indoor air quality for New York City schools. People are getting shat on daily. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. That's one of the things I've been thinking about that.
Yeah, and we're going to come out with that, too. We're going to come out with an anti-mold card coming up, and I've been talking about that. It's a big one. Mm-hmm. And I did indoor air quality, and I can tell you, it can jack you up.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. People with migraines, people with allergies that they're not really allergies, they're being under attack. And then if they have the sugar problem, the candidus or chlamydia, whichever, they're both like a fungus for a cancer kind of thing, Right. And it just like you said, our attitudes and energies can change our biometrics in no time. So it can be to the plus or the minus. It's up to us.
It is, and that's the beautiful thing. That's free willy. You can swim anywhere in this great ocean you want. It's your free will, and it's your God-given right. No one can take that away and tell you got to do this and that. There's certain things we got to do by here on this earth at this time, but there's a lot of other latitude for us to operate and to find out. I have two rules in life: know thyself and the golden rule. If you truly know yourself and know what makes you think one thought to the next, and why I do this and why I do that, and then if you can relate that into treating others with that same knowledge and what makes people tick, you'll get real far in this world. And that's really two rules of advice I have for people: is to know thyself on the Oracle of Delphi, and the golden rule.
Right.
And I took that know thyself to the nth degree as a kid, laying up in bed at night wondering why I think this thought, and then I'll think that thought. Why do I associate these thoughts? What makes me tick? And you really get into what human nature, and then you have the compassion for the golden rule, because we're all in this together, and it's no good unless you can share it, kind of thing. So it's really a good MO for people. It's simple. 2 rules,
I see why not.
Yeah, right.
So mote
exactly.
it be.
There's a lot, and it's really simplifying. We're going to peel it back. Life's getting a little too hectic and complicated. So we just need to take a deep breath, put your 2 fingers on your forehead, oh my God reflex, and just sigh. A-H-H-H-H. And then start with the whole process. And a lot of your listeners are on the path, and that's really exciting. Because enjoy the process, the unfoldment. It's like half the enjoyment is the journey, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's really exciting when you learn something new and you can share it with somebody, So that's how I feel. I'm brimming over with excitement and potential of humanity at this critical time in our evolution or de-evolution, whichever way you seen it.
Right. Wouldn't you rather go to a party with a bunch of people who are creating something than the bitching and complaining and whining and crying that they haven't got it? We're not victims here, people. Our free will makes these choices, and the choice is up to us.
Exactly. And no one wants to be at a party pooper's party. You want to be at a party having fun, celebrating life, what it's all about. And this is the crowd that we're attracting with the products and services that we have at Modern Health Coach and Thunder and Light Team. It's really intriguing. We're really on the precipice of something big here, and it's from the real change. It's from the ground up. If I get change from the top down, I don't want it. It's called FEMA camps. Okay, I want change from the ground up. I want people to be aware, empowered, and then passing it on. And then when everyone does that, everything else will crumble and we'll be a new society. And that's the end game.
And it's really not a difficult thing to do.
One by one. No, it's not. It takes everyone's free will to just see the light. I always say light trumps dark every time. There's no absence of light, or it's not the opposite of light. It's the absence of light, dark. So once you get a little light in there, it'll go a long way, and then they'll be on the path, and they'll start feeling some benefits and start this thing snowballing. And then you get some steam, and you're a new person, and people notice that. Like, wow, you got a little glow, or your eyes are whiter. You know, and that's...
we're finished for this. We will do it again. It's been a great joy and pleasure.
Say, Mona, time flies when you're having fun. It's all relative.
Oh, okay. Kissing cousins. Mwah. Bye, babe.
And all the best to you. Keep your head up and your feet on the ground.
That's right. All righty. Later, dear.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets, science, and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Would be me, Wild Bill Samsel, your host of the Samsel Report. Join me for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup every Saturday night, right here on Revolution Radio.
What do you think it is? I don't know. Whatever it is.
Welcome. Now hear more, gentlemen.
Join me, Joe Kiernan, and Dr. J every Sunday from 10 p.m. Eastern to midnight for Researchers on a Mission Radio. We will be interviewing guests in ufology, experts on the paranormal, and stories from you, the listener. Every Sunday, 10 p.m. in Studio B. Join us for some amazing conversations and edge-of-your-seat true thrillers.
Right here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, Studio B, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday nights. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
These guys